answer, no, we don't expect any storms to form in the next 25 minutes.
What I do expect is a whole bunch of nothing.
A whole bunch of
I
nothing.
mean, I think there might be a chance, but it's like so low it's not even funny. The Atlantic is, well, laughable, as you said a few months ago.
As I said in one of those bloopers, yes, I'm reminded of that all the time.
Nathan.
Yes.
I think it was Hotson that made us laugh there.
Oh, don't go there.
John Korea. So hang on.
Yes.
Why Michael Scott thinks that the tropical depression can be formed in 15 knots?
Oh, you're talking about Hypo World, aren't you?
Yes, the biggest facepalm ever.
It certainly is when you look at his part of the world.
I mean, I'm like, are you freaking kidding me?
So, John, how's the weather been at your location?
What?
It's been cloudy.
Remind everyone where you are.
New England, it was sunny today, but it was quite cold. It was in the upper 30s, or for you people in Europe, probably in the lower, like single digits Celsius.
Yeah.
It's been a bit cold here. It's been cold like that. I think it just dropped below 0 degrees Celsius, maybe down in the upper 20s now.
Currently 36 at HQ.
Well, you're warmer than me. I don't know why.
And
it's
if
weird.
Jesper's here, he might be telling you about somewhere that's colder than that.
Yes, Sweden. However, we're expecting some...
Hello.
I know.
Oh, Jesper!
John sounded very pleased to see him.
Hello, Jesper.
I haven't seen you I haven't heard you in
Hello,
months.
Jesper.
Is it true that Sweden has had flooding recently?
Well, we had.
Not anymore then. Has it all frozen?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I was
it
about to
was
say
because
that.
of the storm.
Yeah, the storm that we had recently, wasn't it? Strong
Yeah.
winds that occurred over the UK as well.
Yeah, and then it continued to Sweden. Yes.
As
And
often
did them-
storms do, people forget about that sometimes, you know.
And did the big bad old Met Office even name it?
Oh, probably. I don't even go there.
They name it if they feel like naming it.
Oh man. This is the place to watch the countdown live to the end of the Atlantic hurricane season. If that's
We
what
do
interests
talk
you.
We can talk about Old Man Winter too.
22 minutes until that ends. What?
There is a snowstorm over the central United States. I bet it's
Yes,
been mentioned.
there is. Devon mentioned that a few hours ago before we did our coverage of the Hyper World Cup. Do you want to talk some more about that?
Well, I need to pull up some floater imagery.
Don't think they do floater imagery on winter storms.
No,
though.
I think it's more like I gotta pull up the whole United States satellite feed.
Okay.
It's possible. It's possible.
We'll just wait for you to come back.
Michael is basically the only one that's doing the hyperworld now, right?
You could say that. No, but what do you think of Michael's antics?
Well, since it's hyperworld, he can do whatever he wants, but, well, yeah. Could be trolling with his Category 5 overland and stuff, but...
Oh, man.
There's definitely a very noticeable spin. There's definitely a very noticeable spin on this system.
Yeah, it has been circulating, so to speak.
I mean, it looks like it's very circulating very well. In fact, they're even saying some possible whiteout conditions in Minnesota.
Yeah, wouldn't surprise
There's some
me.
strong winds. There's some strong winds associated with this. But if you want to see a strong system, wait until like mid-winter and you see a nor'easter. Those can get very strong.
Come in.
But John, isn't it quite... Can't you get nor'easters at around this time of year too?
Why? Could you repeat that?
Oh.
I didn't hear that.
Can't you get nor'easters at this time of year as well?
We could too, yeah, it could too. But usually the strongest ones happen in like this, in like the middle of winter. Usually, they're kind of a weird sort of thing. I mean, they do get some of their energy from the Gulf Stream, but they can tighten up once soon as they get around like New Jersey or New York in terms of that latitude. They can begin to strengthen. I mean, if you take a look at the Blizzard of '07 per se, it looked really strong in terms of it actually had an eye feature, even though it was a so-called extratropical system. It wasn't a hurricane; it just had an eye feature. You know, sometimes sometimes lows can have that. Usually ones that have pretty intense pressure. Usually.
On our live feed in the background, you're looking at beautiful Hawaii. That's somewhere that won't be getting any nor'easters.
Maybe some Kona storms, but that's about it. Some Kona storms, but that's about it for Hawaii.
John, which do you prefer, Massachusetts or Hawaii?
Actually, I like living up here. Even though it gets cold half the year, I don't mind the cold.
Interesting.
I do see this strange disturbance out by the Bahamas, but I don't think that'll become anything.
No, have you seen the Atlantic shear map?
Yes, I think I've seen it before. It's just wrecked.
Oh,
let's put it in that perspective.
That's one word to use, yes.
The cold front is going south.
Yeah, I mean,
Anyway.
there's a very small patch of like low wind shear where this area of this disturbance is sitting. I mean, if you look at the east, if you look at let me link this to you, by the way, right here. They link this. That's what I'm looking at in terms of satellite.
Oh, where is it, John?
I just linked it in the live chat room.
Oh, we can't see that, John.
Darn it.
We can do screen shares, though.
I can't.
You can't.
You know what? Let me link it to you like private. Can you see any messages at all?
Well, yeah. Well, no, not whilst we're on this conversation, because I don't want to look at the text because everyone else will see it.
Yeah.
Because the window is being displayed live. Jason can always go ahead and stick it on the stream if he wanted to.
I'll link it to Jason then if he's here.
Do you want me to do a screen share?
Yes, David. That would be very helpful.
Oh, and here it comes.
I'll cancel it.
So, 18 minutes to go until the end of hurricane season. It's not like anything special will happen when we tick down to 0. It's just the end of hurricane season. It's not like it's not like the tropical places will freeze over as soon as we tick down 0. Marcel, what's the weather like at your location today?
I will see.
You will see. What, you've not looked outside the window?
You never do that.
It's
Use our computers.
16 Celsius.
16 Celsius.
61 Fahrenheit.
Yeah. Sounds good. Sounds good to me.
But cloudy.
But what?
Partly cloudy.
Partly cloudy. So there's the weather in Colombia right now. Wouldn't mind that. At Force 13 HQ, 36 Fahrenheit, 2 Celsius. The animation there showing what's going on in North America
Nathan,
right now.
It says the stream's offline.
Yes, it does that sometimes.
Told you it's gonna be downtime.
For 10 seconds. So, John, can you see the Atlantic right now? Do you want to talk us through this?
In terms of wind shear, or in terms of satellite?
Looking at the satellite image that we're seeing right now.
Oh, there's this disturbance I saw like in the lower like right hand corner on the East Con US or whatever it is. But I don't think that's going to become anything. I think, like you said before, usually these things are usually very short features. I mean, there is some convection associated with it, but it's going to move into a patch of higher wind shear as time progresses. I mean, it's probably a late season wave. You're not. I mean,
well,
it's
please,
like it's kind of
high wind shears all over right now.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying that. I said it's going to be a short feature. I mean, it might be say, oh, this was like a depression in postseason analysis, but that's probably about it.
Martinez says hurricane
if
season,
it even gets noted at all.
Martinez says hurricane season will be over soon. Time to pack our bags. But where to?
To Jupiter.
Australia.
Yes.
Well, that is an interesting feature, but I don't think it's going to stay long. If you look at the imagery close enough, you can see some of the storms are being pulled away from the center due to wind shear. So,
And if you're still unsure, it's that winter storm up there on the left-hand side, sort of top left there.
that's the winter storm. I was just talking about a low feature down by the Bahamas.
Yeah, indeed. No, I know you were talking about that. I just wanted to point out the winter storm there.
The winter storm, yes, is on the upper left.
Yes. Craig, are you here?
I don't think he's here.
He's at the call, but he's...
It might be too late for him to talk, so I don't know whether Craig will be hearing him, but we'll certainly be aware of his presence. As we
Yes.
tick down to 14 minutes before the end of the hurricane season's 2015. It's flown, hasn't it?
Yeah, it flew by. It flew by.
Yes.
John, what was maybe not favourite, but the storm you were most impressed by this year? Don't say Patricia. Too obvious.
Yeah, that is a cop out, but I'm not going to cop out here. I'm probably going to say something like I was impressed by maybe Danny or Joaquin.
You got to be impressed by Joaquin.
Definitely Joaquin. Yes, I mean it was northeast. I mean there is a chance they might say, well, it was a Cat 5 in postseason analysis, but it's a chance and not a certainty. I mean,
Alright.
it could be they could call it a Cat 5 in post-season analysis, but it would make Joaquin the first Category 5 since 2007.
David, do you have any late news on tropics in the southern hemisphere?
Not at this point in time, although I do see that the National Hurricane Center Atlantic Operations has issued its final regularly scheduled tropical weather outlook for the 2015 Atlantic hurricane season.
Yeah. Of course, because it's the end of the hurricane season in the northern hemisphere doesn't mean it's the end of the world. There will still possibly be one or two storms left in the West Pacific before the end of the year. They can form any time, of course. And in the southern hemisphere, that's certainly warming up lukewarm at this time, with Cyclone Toonie just dissipating right now, and 96p. Anyone have an opinion on 96p, whether it will develop or not?
I'll just have a look and see if there's any information.
On what now?
Actually, not 96p.
Yeah.
Uh,
Show us some imagery if you can, David. It'd be nice to see where it is and what it looks like right now.
who's doing the screen sharing?
Oh,
John?
I thought that was you.
No, sorry.
It's Craig.
John, bring
Yeah,
up
it is Craig.
96p. Craig,
Yeah,
bring up
I'm sure he's doing
96p.
it. He's already there, isn't he?
Yeah, he beat me
That's
to it.
located to the east of Toonie, isn't it?
I'm just trying to find
Yes.
I'm trying to find it on tropical storm risk. Doesn't say.
What's it, 13.4 south?
13.4 south and 149.0 west.
Oh no, I just closed the live stream.
149 west, which means it's way beyond the dateline. It's right in the almost eastern Pacific, isn't it, really? Depending on what your definition is, I suppose. Central Pacific, perhaps. Another Central Pacific cyclone. Oh, there it is. You can see it on Craig's screen right now. Let me try and zoom in on that for you. Marked by that tiny little eye there in the central part of the Pacific. Pretty much exactly halfway between Australia and South America.
What site is he using? Craig using?
You can see it at the top.
I can't right now.
It's
The
on,
stream's not.
SSEC. Sims.
Oh, Sims, yes.
Trying to get a better look of that if we can, Craig. Oh, there's the Western Pacific. Still that little blob near the Philippines. And there's the South Pacific now. So you can... Is that it on the right-hand side?
Hey?
Sort of just right of Central?
Isn't it 150 W?
Yeah. So there it is near the top, in red. There's another little flare up towards the top left there as well, way to the north of Fiji. You think that might become another invest soon?
Possibly.
There is a model track on 96p.
Pull up that. South Pacific.
About 8 minutes left.
Yes,
almost.
indeed. 8 minutes to go for the hurricane seasons. I don't think we'll see any storms in the last 8 minutes.
Come on, Atlantic, do something.
Could you imagine if the NHC issued a special advisory with 5 minutes to go, hey? Blimey.
It wouldn't be the first time.
Can I screen share models?
I think there was
You can
one.
if the others let
I
you.
think there was one late season storm which had its one of its first advisories today. I'm not sure what that storm was though, and I remember it, but I'm not sure what the name was. Let me look up some late.
I'm not
Let me look up
entirely
some.
Nathan.
Yes. You say my name, then say nothing.
Ha!
Well, you did.
I think that the 2016 hurricane season it will not be active.
You don't think it will be active?
Yes.
What do you think will happen in the East Pacific that year?
It will be very active, but not as active as this season.
Oh, interesting. So, do you think the West Pacific will have more activity as well?
Yes.
Right. You don't want to elaborate on that at all? I guess not. John, what do you think?
So, what for what? What's the question?
The Atlantic
Oh,
next year.
The Atlantic, I think it'll be a hair more active. It might be an average season. I can't really say, because usually the outlooks happen around April. I mean, I can't say anything right now because the wind shear is on the Atlantic is just wind shear crazy right now. I can't say anything about it.
It's the end of November, John.
I just don't know about next year. I mean, if this El Nino falls off a cliff in terms of it just dies out, you might see a year parallel to 2007 or 2010 or 11
What
maybe.
did you say,
But
Jesper?
Was it
I doubt it.
Invest
I mean, we
96p?
did.
Ah.
And there are some late season storms that did form not too long before today. I mean, we had Otto and Epsilon. Otto of 2004 and Epsilon of 2005. Don't forget we have Karen of 1989 that formed 2 days ago. So, yeah, there are late season storms, but
Yeah, a lot
those
of
are
viewers
usually
actually pointing out some late season storms that occurred
yeah.
in these areas.
It's become the late season storm game. How many late season storms are there? And also, there's also, I can tell you this one, Lily of 84.
Yes. Yeah,
That was a
remember
very anomalous system.
one. Certainly was. As we start our 5-minute countdown, here it comes.
5, 4:59, 4:50. Never mind.
For God's sake, John.
Oh, for God's sakes!
Yeah, we're sort of dramatising this just a little bit. But there we are. 4 minutes 40 seconds. Josh Frank says hello. Hello back.
Hi, Josh.
Halola.
Halola. Oh my god. What do you think of Hurricane Typhoon Halola?
God's sake.
What, Craig? That was a storm that formed technically in the East Pacific, the eastern part of the international dateline anyway.
Sort of.
And what's your opinion about what we'll see next year, or your favourite storm from this year in the Atlantic or East Pac?
Well, mine had to be Andres and East Pac.
Andres.
It's quite a good looking hurricane for the first one.
Martinez has a final question for us apparently. Should you think... I think it's supposed to be do you think the hurricane season should start in May instead of June, guys?
No, just keep it in June. Just keep it June.
I mean, if you really wanted to, I would push it to like May 15th. But
You know what I'd do?
It.
I'd push it to May 31st.
Oh well, that works too.
Lee, are you here?
May 15th.
I'm here now.
It's here.
Do you
No,
have
why
any...
don't they push it to my? No, why don't they push it to my birthday, the 5th of May?
Oh, I just want to hear from Lee before we run out of time before the hurricane season closes. Of course, we'll still be here afterwards. Lee, what's your favourite storm of this year in the Atlantic and EPAC?
Jack Green was my favourite in the Atlantic.
Who?
And that would begin with J. Jack, how do you say it? Green.
Joaquin?
And yes. And in the Eastern Pacific it's Patricia.
The obvious ones then.
Yes, well I did like
Numbers.
It
What
was
would have
my
been
favourite
number
too.
23 on the top 100 category 5s list? What would have been?
It was assessed to be, yes.
But it wasn't to be, sadly.
That's because Hurricane Week was already late on there. If we do Hurricane Week
Lol.
next year, not sure whether we will or not, in the same format at least, you will see it, I'm sure. But Patricia didn't really do much beyond its intensity. It didn't.
It didn't actually.
And Tropical Cyclone came South Pacific for 2015.
Yes, of course, Pam.
Also,
Last 2 minutes.
I'm
here.
thinking Patricia is going to be remembered the same way as Tip. In terms of, it was strong, it had a very low pressure, it just didn't affect any land. Very well, that is. It did affect land, but very weakly.
Alright. Josh Frank says, my favourite storm was probably Danny. Got strong, but didn't do much. Steve Vilches says, favourite cyclones, Atlantic Joaquin, East Pac, Kilo. And
That's Central
if I
Pacific.
could just ask you a question, guys. How much did Kilo weigh?
Not a kilo. Kilogram.
1 gig at
He
some.
weighed a kilogram.
About 75 seconds
We're talking
remaining.
about pounds.
Who knows?
Okay.
You mean British pounds? You mean British pounds? Or some quid? Or do you mean like actual kilograms?
Oh
1 minute left.
boy. Yes.
About 1 minute.
Entering that
Starting.
last minute.
60, 59,
Oh, for
58,
God's sake, John. It's less than that now. 50 seconds.
49,
You're a bit
28,
slow, John.
27.
You're a bit slow. I think
Seems to
I'll...
be a bit behind, there's still 9 seconds.
You'll probably join in with me when I start the countdown. I'll start at 20, okay?
Yeah, okay, fine.
Just because I'm the first one who sees this and I know exactly when it is. Randomius
it's
says
just-
Kilo weighed 1 kilo. Martinez has a final question. He's desperate to get in on time. Do you wanna wonder?
Yes!
Of course we wanna
for this
wonder.
year.
Of course!
We want a Hurricane Wonder. 15 seconds. 13, 12,
12,
11, 10,
10,
9,
9,
8,
8,
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Season's over. Oh, I wish I
And
was
we'll go to
Decades.
December.
Officially, the Atlantic hurricane season,
He's
the
officially over.
2015
Well,
Atlantic hurricane
well.
season has ended.
John, you
Devin
gotta
wasn't
That's
here.
also the beginning of the final months of the year.
Officially
was Devin?
has ended.
Devin wants to guess.
And that is the end of the Atlantic hurricane season. By the universal clock, midnight UTC, it's now December 1st here in the UK and on the universal clock.
And get your
So
advent calendars out.
it doesn't matter where you are around the world, it is the end of hurricane season because they use the universal time.
And it's officially winter.
Official.
NHC employees,
It is.
you can go
It is
to the cave.
officially donezo.
I'd rather not hear about it being winter, Jasper, because I hate the
You got no choice.
This is a
I
message
don't
for
care.
NHC
I want an
employees.
Atlantic hurricane season, not a winter season. John, get out of here. Actually, no, you probably can start singing Christmas songs right now, but please don't.
NHC, this is a message for the NHC employees.
Yes.
You can go to vacation.
I might just message Devin and make some more Christmas images.
I can barely hear you, Jasper. What did you say?
The Indian cyclone season
Nathan,
The Indian
runs
cyclone
to-
season.
it
Do you
runs to
wanna-
December with 31st.
I have no idea, but you can see late season storms in the Indian Ocean, yes. Randomius says 25 days of Christmas before Christmas, apparently.
Well,
You mean to say that?
did you do all your shopping, Nathan?
John, why are you asking me? I'm the Grinch here. I don't do shopping for Christmas.
Okay, Elhire Screws.
Oh, Marcel, for goodness sake. This is Force 13 HQ, it's a madhouse.
Yes.
It's a madhouse.
I feel sorry for Nathan.
Really? No one's
Yes.
ever said that before.
No,
I don't. Okay, maybe I do a little bit.
Yes.
Don't you
Oh,
guys
God.
Taiwan?
I feel sorry for Jason who has to deal with us
I'll say
Alright.
so.
Dabin,
and our hyperworld
Dabin
requests.
says,
He volunteers to
Dabin
deal with
said-
us as well.
Dabin says that he wants my cat.
Oh, for God's